This is going to be a quick review of these Knipex Cobra XS pliers. This is a set of adjustable pliers. Maybe you call them channel locks, even though they're not officially from the company Channel Lock. Maybe you call them adjustable pliers. Maybe you call them slip joint pliers. They have a lot of different names. So basically, it is an adjustable plier from a German company called Knipex. Some people say the name differently. I've heard Knipex and whatever, but I've always generally assumed it's Knipex. And the Cobra line is their adjustable pliers. They usually call them water pump pliers, but you don't have to obviously work on a water pump with them. So that's the Cobra line. This model is called the Cobra XS. It's the smallest of them. The pliers are about 4 inches wide. You could see it there. These are 1/2 inch markings, and they open to right about 1 inch. So it's like a 25 millimeter opening right around there. If you do the max, it's bigger, but flat, I think it's around 24 millimeters. And obviously they close to flush. So the whether you know about the Knipex brand or not, they make really high-end, well-manufactured products. They make them in Germany. The Cobra line, I think, is probably their best known set of products. It's the one I'm the most familiar with. And what these are is just a really nicely manufactured set of pliers, and they're the XS, so they're extra small. This is the smallest of the line. It goes all the way up to I believe the XXL, which is a giant set of pliers. I think that's like a 30 or 40 inch, full length set of pliers with over a 4 inch opening. So some really big stuff. This is more for kind of like, under the sink usage, for home user, or kind of, in a small place where you have to get in something really tight and, adjust a water line or something like that. That's what I use it for. I'm sure, out in the professional world, people use them for all sorts of things. So what's nice about them? First of all, very small, very light. Like I said, 4 inches in total length. Really, really nicely made. I'm not sure if you could just see how it's manufactured. Just really superbly made. And, maybe that's not a big deal. If something's functional, maybe you're happy with it. But I can say that these are just from the knurling to that all metal logo to this ground down end here to the kind of integrity of the teeth and the how it's so easy to go open this and go down just a single tooth and then lock it back in. They are really nicely made. This model does not have any plastic here. As you get to the larger models, they add, not plastic, they add rubber, but the XS does not have any rubber here to make it as small as possible, also to make it go in and out of a pocket easier. As far as features go, obviously you have a bunch of different teeth here to open the width. You have kind of your fine grain, your opening here, and then your coarse grain, depending on where you want to lock it. If you want the maximum width, you're going to use it right here and get the the corners of your bolt, the nut rather, or the bolt head, whatever you're holding, right in there. Then other features, basically not too much, except the way this opens is it won't go up and down. It's locked until you get out to a certain point. Now you can move it here. You can move it, but you got to see where that final point is. So basically you have a really nice sharp point here. And then what happens is that you have what they call one-handed operation, which means, okay, so you open it, it goes up and down, obviously. But then once it starts to clamp, you can push on the one side and the other side will not loosen. You don't always have to have it squeezed to add force to it and have it locked in. If you just push on the one side, it'll stay locked. This side won't pop out when you're pushing on this side. So it lets you use it very easily with, obviously it's a one-hand operation. If something is small, you're not gonna use 2 hands, but just by pushing on one side, the other side will stay locked in. And it's just, I mean, it sounds awkward when doing it on a video demo, but it is quite handy. The pliers are, like I said, really nicely made. You could just tell from the sound how much, what sort of tight tolerances they have. And they don't offer a huge amount of grip just because they're not gigantic, and they don't have a giant opening just because, again, they're small. They're not designed to go that big. It wouldn't really make sense to have it go larger with such small handles. You know, you just wouldn't be able to apply enough force to get the, it wouldn't, like, basically the short handles wouldn't justify a mouth any larger than this. So if you want the next thing up, you have to go to the Cobra. I think it's just called the S. I forgot the model. This one model is, if you want to look for it, it's 87-100, and you could find the next model up pretty easily. And that one will have some rubber here, so you'll know it's a little bit bigger. It sells for about the same price. These sell for about $30, and the next size up sells for, like, I don't know, sometimes cheaper, sometimes 28. It's a little bit confusing. It's just that the XS is usually in the highest demand, and so when you go to Amazon or something like that, sometimes the higher demand models will sell for a little bit more than the larger models. You know, once you get really big, the price of the medium sizes, they only sell for about maybe $43 or $40 anyway. So you don't save a whole lot by going small. You're just buying a very specialty tool. And I think that's about it. You know, I really use these way more than I thought. They are small, but that's nice. You can keep them on you. Sometimes I just use them just to get grip. You know, I've broken so many Leathermans just by applying a lot of force to this area and using them like needle nose pliers when they're not. These ones I can keep force on something small, whether it's cloth or a nut or a bolt or a nail head, whatever it is I'm trying to grab. And I haven't had any problems with them. They've held up really nicely. So Knipex Cobra XS, super well made, kind of a high-end tool aimed at the professional user, but they're going to last forever, so don't really regret, spending a little bit more money on them.